Hi guys, I'm sorry for ending the live stream before, but today I will be refocusing on the Geelong Electrification project. So I will just get out Google Maps and I will focus on what needs to be done in the Geelong Electrification project. I'll just wait for, I hope some viewers are now watching, yeah, so I'll just see who's watching. I'll view a watch page. Oh, hi Aiden, thanks for watching. Now I'm going to start Google Maps. I'll just share my screen so you can see. I'll just share. Oh, there's two viewers, so I'll have a look. Okie dokie. So, I'll just zoom out of there. And now we'll go to Geelong. So I've made a short script, so I think Geelong's somewhere around here. Bannockburn, so we're heading in the right direction. Yeah, okay. Warm Ponds, I think that's that station there. Yep, okay. So the line will start at Warm Ponds, and it will which will have 3 platforms. It will have a platform. Hi, Mr. Gustmister. Shout out to Mr. Gustmister and Aidan from Oz. So there will be 3 platforms and 4 tracks. So we'll have a platform 1, which is a turnback platform, so the track has a bollard at the end so that it can't go any further, which is the current platform 1, and so that's all services that are going back to the city. Now platform 2 will be for turnback services as well, also services that will go into the siding and that they will have. Platform 3 will be a V-line only platform, mainly used just in peak hour, as they will be able to use platform 2 the majority of the time otherwise, as the timetable will be worked around, and this frequency between Geelong, Warm Ponds and Melbourne will be about once every 10 minutes. They get there, they will have, and the 4th track is if all 3 platforms are occupied, there'll be some express V lines passing. So shortly over near Bodega Street, there will be some sidings that will branch off, and also some sidings here. 3 sidings there. We've got a bit of vacant land, and 4 sidings there. So that will not. And yeah, so there'll be a duplicated track, which is currently a single track through to Geelong. As it's also a 10-minute frequency, and then we'll head up for a new station near the Torquay Road, and this station will be near the Grovedale area. So yeah, and also there'll be a bus interchange there. It's quite a big area, a big development which will probably go around and once the station is built, and there's also quite a big extensive urban area along the Surf Coast Highway region. So that would be Grovedale. Then we'll reach the current Marshall station, which will be upgraded into 2 platforms. It's currently 1, and an extra bus interchange. Now currently it serves a few routes, and there'll be a direct route also to here for Deakin University, which is actually not too far. I mean, Warm Ponds would probably be a bit closer, but anyway. I think there should also, be, well, Mr. Gustmister said Melton, but I also believe it actually should be Bacchus Marsh and increase frequency to Ballarat to provide big line services from Ballarat into Southern Cross Express from Bacchus Marsh and Melton. So it'll be a bit better, so they'll have a quicker train. But back to this now. So after the Barwon Heads Road, we'll continue up on the existing duplicated track up to a new station near Breakwater Road. This will there's quite a big shopping precinct and an industrial area nearby in the southern Geelong region. So yeah, that'll be good. And then after that, continue up near South Geelong, duplicated tracks. Now, currently some services terminate at South Geelong, and there's a little siding that holds trains there because the Warm Pond service comes through, so they can't. While the South Geelong service is, the sidings, so they won't have any South Geelong terminated services anymore. They'll all go to Warm Pond, and some may terminate at Geelong in the afternoon and morning peak, and originated, of course, as well. And then we'll continue up on the double track alignment. And a duplicated track, and we go underground in a short tunnel, which is currently around the CBD of Geelong. So we've got the Geelong station, which will be completely redeveloped, which will be a very interesting area, like what they're doing with Ballarat. It will be a 4-platform station, 2 for Metro, 2 for Metro, 2 for Metro, 2 for V Line. Now, 3 for Metro, I should say, because platform 3 is used for both Metro and V Line. So it's platform 4 is only V Line, because platform 3 will be all V Line services will continue to stop at Geelong Station, as it is a busy area. But they will build. It's just relevant because they won't. We can have some services terminating and originating at Geelong, and also people in Geelong will still have access to their V Line services, what they have done in Sunbury and Bacchus Marsh, but they have a choice of getting a Metro service as well. And someone, yes. Aidan from ours asked, how will they add a 4th track in Geelong? Now they'll convert, as you know, that some of the sidings will be going in the ponds. One of the sidings will be converted into a platform, and the whole roof of the station will be developed. It's a very loud station. It'll just be a lot better to completely redo the station and have a customer service hub. And continue up. Now there's some more usually freight sidings here, I do believe. And then we'll go up, and there'll be a new station on the Princess Highway, where I'm not too sure what I'm going to call, located around this area. It's a very built-up area, residential, and also close to the beach, so people who want to go to the beach can also go there. Continue on the double track alignment to North Geelong, and then where they can change for overland services, and also the Bendigo Ballarat Geelong Regional Rail Inland Line. Now I'll just zoom out because there's not many stations here. North Shore Station, which will be also upgraded. Then we'll continue up to Corio, which there will be some more developed around in the northeast areas of Geelong. Up past the Geelong Ring Road on the existing track. And we've got also the southern suburbs of Geelong are going to probably particularly develop, and also some of the northeast suburbs like Corio, because there's a lot of land. So I'm planning to put a station here at Canterbury Road, just because there is a lot of vacant land. As you see, there's probably some fields or something around there. I'm not too familiar with the area, but it's it'll be certainly easy to build up that area and build a shopping centre. Now over the Hovels Creek to Lara Station. We'll zoom out a bit more because there won't be any basically not many existing stations until the new stations till the Wyndham area. Now, I'm also saying that the Geelong residents might be concerned of how long the train travel might actually take, because it's not currently, it's about an hour, but we'll have every one service will be express, and the next service will be stopping all stations. So we'll have express past all the minor stations. So it'll be like Warm Ponds to South Geelong, then stopping all stations to Geelong, and then past basically Lara or Corio or something. Now, and past express, there'll be some express services past Little River, because it's not a very, developed area. I'm not satellite. Okay. With that field, that's probably a good idea, actually. So you can see, I'll go back just up here where I was planning a new station. Yeah, it was around here. There is some empty fields, so it would certainly be good for some development. And also, I'm not too sure around this area, because I'm not too sure if it will grow, because, obviously things is. Now, currently, as you might be aware, with the regional rail link, there is V-Line services now use the new Wyndham Vale line. Now, that will now be at the West Werribee Junction. So now convert that, the V-lines will actually go express straight to Footscray, and then they'll fork onto the new tracks. It won't cause anything it won't cause delays for the other metro services that start at Werribee or extended, but it will just be a lot easier. Now, I do expect, as the Wyndham area is quite a growing area, for a new station to be built around the West Werribee main sort of area. Now, we've got Wyndham Vale, which, as you see, is a very built up area. I believe the Wyndham Vale station is somewhere around here on Armstrong Road and the Main Lakes Blood. Straight up, and yeah, I really probably need a new station at Troganina, or around that sort of area, because there's not, Wyndham is probably the growing area in Victoria, and of course Westfield. I mean, like, it's quite a dry area as well, so a lot of these fields will sort of get developed with houses. Now, along with past the Werribee River, and a new station around here, this sort of area. It sounds pretty stupid to put here, but in many years this area will be highly developed. Past the Sayers Road area. And we all know that Tarneit is absolutely full. It's a busy station. So we'll have some services terminating at Wyndham Vale. I also forgot to add in that the Werribee line will be extended to Wyndham Vale, so you have Wyndham Vale services. From Wyndham Vale, you can have a service via Sunshine or via Newport, so it's a bit easier. Past here, I think Tarneit Station somewhere up here. I'm sorry, I can't put satellite on anymore. I think Tarneit Station's around here. Yeah, here. And that doesn't really need any upgrades as well. And then around this Troganina, Doherty's Road area, there will be a new station, as this area is already developing up. As you can see, there's like a little housing estate, even though it's in the middle of nowhere, sort of, for the Troganina area. Now it forks onto the Ballarat and Bacchus Marsh line, where the line will be extended on to past Christie's Rose, past the Western Freeway, onto the Ballarat line for the new station at the Deer Park, with the Deer Park station, which obviously the lines from Ballarat will run express. Now, a third track will be compulsory to put in the AM peak towards the city for Geelong as the AM peak, because it's just going to be too busy otherwise. So there'll be upgraded stations at Deer Park and Ardia. so once they get past Ardea, we'll come into the Bendigo and Sunbury lines, which will be extended through to Gisborne. And that sort of area, as it's also a very high growth area, the Sunbury Gisborne area, we'll see. And this way we'll obviously have a new station at Braybrook. Not obviously, but whatever. Now, Tottenham is an interesting one because that will only be for Sunbury line services, as Ballarat and Bendigo line services, Ballarat and Bacchus Marsh services actually travel a bit longer, a bit more kilometres. So I just think it's a bit fair for them to run express. They can always change at Sunshine if they, have any things. West Footscray, Sands to your Middle Footscray. And Footscray is an interesting one. They will have 2 new underground platforms, which will be for the Ballarat and the Bacchus Marsh and Warm Ponds lines, which will transfer here through South Kensington, or will go just under the Maribyrnong River. I know it'll be seen hard, but it's just for the better. Now up here, the Sunbury line does fork off because for the Metro Tunnel just after South Kensington, so they'll rise up and use the existing Metro tracks, both for the Bacchus Marsh and Geelong lines. They will the Bacchus Marsh line, I'm not too sure where they'll put it through. I think it will probably be a direct line, so it won't go through the loop because it's obviously at capacity. And although into Southern Cross, Flinders Street now will be got back on the Geelong line. Now, so from the Geelong will fork, the train tracks will actually go further through to Richmond and South Yarra, where they'll build a new service, a new platform at South Yarra to service Geelong services. This will also deal with cross-city problems, and the PTV network development plan does actually state this. So you can go to Richmond from Geelong, so you don't have to change trains if you're going to the you don't have to change trains if you're going to Richmond to see the football. Now we're going to focus on the Bacchus Marsh part now. Just come to Colin. So we start at, obviously we won't go any further than Deer Park because we've already been there. And there will also be a few new stations on this line. So as you are probably aware with the Ballarat line upgrades, that there will be new stations along that line, yada, yada, yada. And we'll change at Ballarat, we'll put an extra platform in for V-line services to use. So platform 1 is Metro only for turnback. 2 is for Metro and V-line, V-lines towards the city. Platform 3 will be a V-lines towards Ballarat, Ararat and Maryborough. And so we'll put the line through. And Bacchus Marsh is also a very interesting area. So they'll have a new, obviously Pawarn has no one in there, so they probably won't put a new station unless the area does actually develop. So we'll go in past the Paul and Exford Road, and we'll go into a new station at the Hopeton Park area near the Werribee River. Now, this will be at the Hopeton Park, sorry, just like here, just near the Werribee River. Now, I think this will be a good idea as the Hopeton Park area. It's not a very known of area, but it also can serve nearby areas, and so I think it's just a smart idea to put a station at Hopeton Park, and also the development. As see, this is a very barren area. Can so probably a new station at either Exford or Melton West, somewhere around this sort of region where I'm circling. Melton's a very grown up area. Melton Station, where they'll have an extra platform to service turnback services and V-line services. Some services in the peak will turn back here. Now through to past the Mount Cottrell Road area to Rockbank, which is also a very growing area. And I mean, these ideas sound like tremendously impossible, but if we all work together and just find a way, I mean, this is a very brief idea, and just find a way of how it might be possible to do this, we can find an area. We can find a way. And also at Rockbank, they can also serve passengers from Plumpton and Toolanvale, which is in between Gisborne and Melton. And we've got here the Ravenhall sort of Caroline Springs area, which has grown up mainly in the early 2000s. And we've got, obviously, you will know that there's a new Caroline Springs station if you're a train enthusiast, which you can actually see Geelong line trains in there. But anyway, that's not part of the topic. And so that'll be upgraded. And then, yeah, it will connect with there, and obviously the third track to service peak services. Now, there'll be a lot of underground. Yes, they will have a turn late service. And as you said, Ballarat doesn't stop at Tottenham. I know that I actually meant to say Bacchus Marsh. And now, I need to talk to you about one more thing. So there'll be 9 zones, because Geelong will be really the further away that the Metropolitan Train Network reaches. There'll be 9 zones, and the rest of them will run as 6 zones. The Melbourne, currently we just have 2. So it just means that there's more, you know, it's just, if you're going from one destination to another, it's just, you have a fairer fare system, and you don't pay the same price no matter if you're going from 1 stations or 20 stations. It's just a lot fairer to have that, and the authorised officer will merge with the PSOs to create something called transit officers, like what they have in Perth, and they will check tickets, guard stations after 6 p.m. And yeah, so that they won't merge with customer services officers, and they will carry handheld Nike readers like V-line conductors and everything like that, although they will have the power to find people. Now, this ends my live stream for today, and I do hope if you've got any other questions, please feel free to answer. I'm probably going to get a heap load, as it sounds impossible. Now, don't blame me just for saying this, but I would like to thank you all for joining to do this. Now, I've got to answer one question. I'm planning with the power lines, Metro Trains power stations, to be hybrid, so they will have solar panels as well. So when there's sun, they can get solar panel, and it's more environmentally friendly, obviously a lot easier. Now, I would like to thank you all for doing this. Thank you all for watching this, and goodbye for now.